CEM Planner, Module 2, Lesson 3, Plan Sharing. Module 2, Objectives. Upon completion of this module, users will have the ability and knowledge to function as a system administrator for their agency. Users will have input or created a portion of their agency plan. Users will have the ability and knowledge to share plans with other users and set permissions of those users. Users will receive a draft copy of their plans, submit a section for approval, and prepare a plan for the review team. Lesson 3 Objectives. Upon completion of this lesson, users have the ability and knowledge to share plans with other users and set permissions of those users.
In this lesson, we're going to talk about plan sharing. Plan sharing is meant as a way to share your plans with other entities that you're working with on your collaboration. There's a few steps in doing this, and one of the first things that we need to do is we need to create the planning team. This is going to be that group of people that you will pull from in order to give them permissions on being able to help you edit your plan. To work on the planning team over here on the left, we first have to look for the planning agencies. So we'll click here on planning agencies. Now, as you can see here, there's a long list of planning agencies that are already in my group, but we're going to pick out another one that we want to add to my group to share plans with. So what we're going to do is we're going to click Add Remove. This is the point where you can add a group to the planning team or remove a group. At this point, you are not sharing your plan with anybody. You're just stating that an individual from this group is someone you would like to share your plan with. So to do that, up here in the upper right-hand corner, we can choose the entity or the agency we would like to share that plan with. If it's school, it could be another school district, an IU, different things like that. It's all about who you choose. In this case, let's see about Allegheny County. You don't have to type all of the name in. You can type the first few letters. It will bring up a lot more. And then we have to search through and see who we would like to work with. In this case, you can see that we have Allegheny County in Western PA. So we would check that box, and then all we would do is save down here at the bottom. Now, when you're in here, in that last page, you can share with multiple groups at the same time. Until you hit save or cancel, it's not going to adjust those checks. So as we can see here, Allegheny County is now on the top of my list of entities that I'm going to be sharing that plan with. Now, to remove someone from your planning team is just the same process in reverse. So we would click on the Add Remove Agencies to the planning team. We could type in first couple letters of that name. We can see here that Allegheny County is checked. All we would do to remove is uncheck, scroll down, and hit the Save button. Now you can see that Allegheny County has been removed from my group. Now the next part we need to work on is our planning team members. Now, because we've pulled that entity in, or as you can see here, the multiple entities into our planning team, there's going to be a list of people we would like to, who we could choose from to share our plan. At this point, we have not shared our plan with anybody else at this point. Over here under planning team members, you can go in and see who's with what team. If you know somebody's last name, you could type it in. You see here, I typed in Barker. He is the Western Area Director, and you can see where they're at and who they are, and the roles assigned to that individual for plans. Now, these are only assigned roles for the plans that he is owner of or part of the entity group. In this case, that would be PIMA. If we type in another name or delete the name, you see that we go back through a whole list of who we're allowed to choose from. Now, what we can use as planning team members for is to make sure that the person we're trying to find is actually part of that planning team. In some cases, you might be trying to add somebody that does not have an account in CEM Planner, and if that's the case, they won't have the ability to use any of the features until they have an account that is approved and unlocked for you to share that to. So now that we've picked the agency, we know who we want to share it with. Now we have to decide what kind of a plan we're going to share with them. Now down here you can see the agency responsibility matrix. This is broken up into our basic plans and functional plans, incident event plans, and site facility plans. If you'll remember from the previous lesson, we were working with site facility plans. Once again, how we do this for the site facility plans is going to be the same way for the incident event plans and basic and functional plans. All of these processes work in every type of planning that we do. So over here in the agency responsibility matrix, we're going to click on site facility plans. Now, the plan that we were working in previously was test. Now you don't see it here on the first screen, so we just transition over to page 2, and we can see this test 1, 2, 3 is the plan that we were working for previously. Now, this is to set permissions. As you can see, all the way to the right is set permission. So we're going to set permission to this plan from somebody that we've already know their agency is added to our list, and they are part of that. Now, we're going to look here and we're going to see who we want to select it from. In this case, we want to find the agency they work for. I'm going to look at DEP. Now, as you can see, all the DEP departments came up. In this case, I want our Department of Environmental Protection is the one that I'm going to choose. Once we've chosen that person, we would then scroll down to the bottom of the page and hit next. So now we've chosen the entity that they're part of, and now we're into the part where we actually start sharing our plan with the individual. Now for this one here, as you can see, all the names are off on the left. Now we can sort these by clicking last name, by clicking the agency, and any of these other ones over here. So for this last name, we're going to sort it by last name. Now the individual that I'm going to share this plan with is actually going to be from DEP, and his name's Tom Bold. To share the plan, you have to check the name. You go over and you decide whether they can edit or view their plan. Now this is very, very key. In some cases, if you have somebody that's just reviewing your plan, they don't need to go in and make any of the edits like we showed in previous plans. Then you just want to give them that can only view status. Now, if it's somebody that you want to be able to change your plan, alter your plan, or work in your plan, you can then give them the can edit section. The assign roles do not carry over to the plan sharing. There's only two things that a person can do, can edit or can only view. So things that are adjusted under the chief planner that you can add or remove sections cannot be done by somebody that you're sharing a plan with. So all the way up until now, we still have not shared a plan with Tom Bold. In order to do that, we must scroll all the way down and hit save. Now, as you can see, we did have an error come up here. This says no user from the planning entity or its planning partner has been selected. The system will not let you create and share a plan with people unless somebody from your entity has the plan shared with them. So in this case, I didn't share it with myself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and check my name, Shane Woodmansey. I'm going to put that I can edit, and now I'm going to save. As you can see, the icon says data saved, so we can close this page. And we're on this page, we would want to go to our home page. One thing you'll notice whenever you go to your home page, once somebody has shared a plan with you, your home page is now going to look like this. On the left is the plans from my entity, so those are the PIMA plans. And on the right are all those plans that are shared with me. Some of those plans are view only, some of those are able to edit. So this is when a plan is shared from you, you'll see it over here. You see that we have all the search and how to search for those plans. Now, since the last plan that we were working on was in site facility plans and it is a PIMA plan, we would find that plan here. Now at this point, we aren't going to be making any changes in here with this test plan that's on page 2, but we just wanted to show where you'd find it in your plans. Now, for much of the other plans that we have worked on, go back to our home page. Just like I shared a plan to DEP, they've shared plans with me. So to see those plans, you would scroll down, find the entity that shared it with you, and here you can see the other plans that are shared. So this is how we share plans, and this is what it's going to look like after plans are shared with us. Now, not all users are going to have plans shared with them. Sometimes you'll be sharing your plan with others, but they won't have anything to share back with you. And that's okay. A couple things that we want to remember as we're going through the setting permissions and planning to share our plans is over here on the left, we want to make sure that our planning agencies are selected. So if you see somebody in your agency responsibility matrix on the list that you want to select from, you have to remember that their planning agency has to be added to this team. If their planning agency is not added to this team, you will not be able to find their name under the agency responsibility matrix of the separate plans. Once you've added that entity here, it's on your list that you can find, or if you want to search, you can search it. Then when you move down to the agency responsibility matrix, you will be able to find that individual under the plan type. Site facility plans, set our permissions, and go through those steps like we've done before. So if there's any questions for this on plan sharing, once again, please contact your PIMA administrator for those questions to get answers to.